the take again. How did you guys work that?
Well, it was less about getting the puppet bloody and the entire space around it. Most of our gags, we have multiple levels of blood cannon. We've got your average size blood cannon all the way up to the freaking bazooka that's like 200 pounds of pressure. When you hit the button on that, you paint the room red. There's literally white ghost shadows of where you were standing when you move away from the wall. So we opted to go with the bazooka for most shots. So. I remember one scene in particular. I won't give away what was happening, but let's just say there was some carnage happening in the window, right? And our camera crew was about 15 feet away on the outside, up on ladders with plexi. And the director yelled action, and I hit the trigger. And I might be wrong, but I think more blood hit the camera crew than anybody else. They were literally painted in a second, and before the director could even yell cut, just everyone in the camera crew went shit, completely dripping and soaking.
Did you tarp the red? I'm just assuming it was a red.
Yeah, so needless to say, we didn't have options for things like resets. We just had to get it right the first time and get it as bloody as we could, which we did. Yeah, I definitely stained that place forever.
Now, did you have to make different versions of the puppets depending on what they needed to be doing in that scene?
Yeah, we had animatronic versions for scenes or for shots where we needed to see autonomous head-to-toe puppets. We had different versions of rod control for each character. Certain versions needed to have rigidity so they could stand on their own legs. Certain versions had to be completely spring jointed so they could get on their hands and knees and crawl. So, I mean, it was a crazy affair figuring out how to get all of these motions, and we had probably about 18 puppets altogether. So, yeah, it was nuts, but I think you guys are going to approve. We got some really, really cool stuff.
I have to jump in for a minute. Good stuff. So, one thing that wasn't pointed out, one of the reasons why this made a lot of sense to me is I'm a super not fan of CGI, and the commitment was to make these organic puppets on set. These aren't dialed in cartoons. And much more difficult and much cooler because actors get to react to something real, all that blood. Having made now almost 11 Puppet Master films, apparently for money. I got to tell you, it's a challenge to do it this way. Much easier to do it the other way. So it looks like. Well,